All he wanted was a good job after graduation. Every day the female professor ordered him around. He lived in constant anxiety. He barely ate or slept well. One day he walked out of his apartment. A man brushed past him and suddenly called out. The man only wanted to warn him. His backpack zipper was open. Still his heart skipped in panic. He rushed away from the building. His name was Josee. He got into the best university in Seoul, but his life was far from easy. He relied on his good looks just to survive in the big city. His girlfriend rented a tiny room under 110 square feet. Whenever the professor didn't need him, he stayed at his girlfriend's place. She had no idea about him and the professor. The professor didn't care that he had a girlfriend. When the three crossed paths at school, only Josee felt the awkwardness. If he had never met Josee, his college life would have stayed miserable. One day he ran into a girl on the street. She had paralyzed legs and had just fallen. Josee stopped to help her up. Out of simple sympathy, he decided to walk her home. Her electric wheelchair had broken down, so he borrowed a handcart. He pulled her and the wheelchair through the streets, down a quiet back alley. Her grandmother was already waiting to thank him for his help. The girl cooked him a full meal. Josee hesitated before eating.
날 그렇게 먹고 독이라도 담았을까 봐.
He worried that helping her might have hurt her pride, so he pushed the thought aside and ate everything with big bites. He thought it was just a one-time meeting, but fate brought them together again. The girl and her grandmother lived alone together. The grandmother made a living collecting recyclables. Josee happened to see her working. He ran over to help without thinking and ended up with a second free meal. They barely spoke to each other, but the awkwardness between them faded. Both of them were struggling to get by in life. Neither seemed to have much to talk about. Josee worked part-time jobs between classes. On Chuseok, the Korean harvest holiday, his boss gave him 2 boxes of vegetables, but he had no kitchen and couldn't cook, so he gave them to the disabled girl.
집에 놔두면 쓰레기가 되는 거야.
쓰레기라 줘서 고맙다.
아니, 요리 잘하는 사람한테 필요할 것 같아가지고.
Josee meant it as a kind gesture, but she saw it as charity. She didn't want to accept it for nothing, so she invited him to stay for dinner again. This was his 3rd free meal there. This time he helped cook. As they cooked together, they finally started talking more. She told him her name was Josee. She once had a happy family. A car crash killed her parents and left her disabled too. Since then she lived with her grandmother. Whenever her grandmother collected recyclables, she often brought home empty wine bottles, along with all kinds of old books. Josee remembered every book she read by heart. As for the wine bottles from around the world, she could smell the residue inside them and name the exact year and origin. In her own words, she had basically traveled the whole world, and if she ever got the chance, she wanted to visit Scotland herself. Josee found himself drawn to the strong-willed girl. A few days later he came back, this time to fix her broken wheelchair. He worked on it for hours with no luck.
오늘은 밥값 못했으니 밥은 못해주겠네.
Josee felt a bit embarrassed. The wheelchair still wouldn't work, and this time she didn't ask him to stay for dinner. On his way home he suddenly remembered. Josee once mentioned a novel her grandmother found, but only had the first volume. To find the second volume, Josee searched every library in Seoul. She finally found and finished reading it. The evening light was faint, but her heart felt a warmth she had never known. That day Josee got his 4th free meal at her house. After that his free time changed completely. He stopped flattering the professor, and even started avoiding her. He helped the grandmother carry recyclables, and pushed Josee on walks through the woods. The two of them slowly entered each other's lives, and slowly entered each other's hearts. Josee began thinking about Josee all the time, even when talking with his girlfriend. He would bring her up, but he only described her as a strong disabled girl, with big dreams for her future. His girlfriend noticed nothing unusual. She even felt sorry for people with disabilities. She offered to apply for a free home renovation from the community center. Seeing his girlfriend's kindness, Josee felt genuinely touched. Soon after he brought in community workers. They began renovating Josee's house. He also brought her a few new books. While chatting he asked where she most wanted to travel. Josee said Scotland. Of course, because that's where whiskey comes from. Josee opened a panorama map app on his phone, and took Josee on a virtual tour of the Scottish Highlands. Right as they were enjoying the moment, Josee's girlfriend showed up unannounced. What she didn't expect was that the disabled girl he mentioned turned out to be so beautiful. She suddenly felt a strange sense of threat. Josee also learned something new in that moment, that Josee already had a girlfriend. In just a few minutes, she reconsidered everything between them. When Josee came back later, Josee had already shut her door, and told him never to come back. Josee knew he was in the wrong, so he didn't push the issue. During their time apart, Josee felt a loneliness she had never felt before. She had always been alone before, but this felt completely different. Young-suk also found the days dragging on, long enough for him to finally understand his own feelings. On Christmas Day, his girlfriend carefully tried to read the situation. Young-suk could only stay silent, filled with guilt. That day he ran into a community center worker, and learned that Josee's grandmother had passed away a month earlier. Young-suk couldn't imagine, without her grandmother's care, what kind of life Josee was living now. His mind raced as he walked through the falling snow. Without realizing it, he ended up at Josee's door. He gathered his courage and knocked. When they saw each other again, the air between them felt tense. Young-suk awkwardly asked about small things, whether she had been eating properly, whether the drafty windows needed fixing, who would clear the snow in the yard. But the proud Josee thought he was pitying her. She coldly told him to leave. She believed her broken body didn't deserve to love or be loved. But Young-suk didn't care about any of that, at least not right now. He kept looking back as he walked away, unable to let go of her. After turning back again and again, Josee finally called out to him. She didn't want to spend another cold night alone. She didn't want to keep talking to herself over books. In that moment she dropped every wall she had built, and quietly begged him not to leave. It takes courage to admit your true feelings.
가지마. 부탁할게.
그렇게 할 거예요. 계속 옆에 있을게.
But Josee's real courage was different. She had already guessed how this would end, and still chose to begin anyway. Love doesn't need to last forever. It just needs to have existed at all, at least for a while. Young-suk truly belonged to her. To take better care of Josee, Young-suk moved all his belongings into her house. He didn't own much of value anyway, and renting his own place would have been a burden too. The two of them started living together like any couple, but life after moving in together wasn't as romantic as they imagined. Young-suk slowly learned how to cook. It was the only thing he could really do for her. Josee's biggest hobby was still reading. Through a small crack in the courtyard wall, she thought she glimpsed a tiger outside. The gap was small, but the wall wasn't very high. Danger could strike at any moment. It wasn't clear if Young-suk understood what she meant. He simply said, "How could there be a tiger in the city?" By the weekends Young-suk stopped taking her on walks. They had less and less to talk about. One day Josee brought up the tiger again.
호랑이가 담을 넘어왔어도 나는 무섭지 않았을 거야.
왜?
네가 있으니까.
너 호랑이한테는 자신 없는데.
Young-suk seemed to realize he'd said the wrong thing before, so he quickly added, "Then let the tiger eat me first." Then one day out of nowhere, Josee handed Young-suk a pregnancy test. He nervously took it and checked the result. It turned out to be a false alarm, but Young-suk suddenly realized something. He had almost been trapped here for the rest of his life. Graduation was right around the corner. The outside world was full of possibilities. For the first time he wanted to run. That night, Young-suk took Josee on another virtual trip through the map app, maybe because she hadn't been outside in so long. This time Josee only wanted to see the view outside her own front door. In a familiar alley, she saw her grandmother's back, walking ahead of her. Maybe the only one who could stay by her side forever was her grandmother. A few days later Josee said she wanted to go out. She wanted to see an aquarium, watching the fish trapped inside the tanks. Josee said thoughtfully, "We think the fish are the ones locked up, but maybe the fish think we're the ones who are trapped. I used to believe, as long as happiness was nearby, being trapped wouldn't be so bad. Inside this fish tank, there must be some happy fish too."
무슨 그런 말도 안 되는 소리를.
외롭지 않아. 네가 내 옆에 없다고 해도 난 네가 옆에 있는 걸로 생각할 거야. 그러니까 괜찮아.
Her words woke Young-suk from his pretend ignorance. If he could stay by her side forever, even if it meant living in that broken-down house for the rest of his life, it would still be happiness. But Josee knew the truth. She knew how amazing the world outside really was. She knew Young-suk was already ready to fly away. She didn't want to hold him back. She didn't want to become his burden. So in her own quiet way she told him, "Even if you're not by my side anymore, I can still live a happy life." And all she had left to hold on to was this one beautiful memory. 5 years later, Young-suk brought Josee to Scotland, a place she had always dreamed of, because she once said, if she ever got the chance, she wanted to visit Scotland herself.
우리가 결국엔 스코틀랜드 와보는구나.
너랑 와보고 싶었어.
But that beautiful trip to Scotland existed only in Josee's imagination. Young-suk was never really there with her, and she herself had never left that tiny room. She had only learned to use a panorama map app. She had only learned how to pass the long empty days, and she had learned how to keep living, no matter what.